New England Patriots quarterback Drake Maye has been logging some late hours to learn as much as he can during rookie minicamp. And Jerod Mayo, well, yeah, he knows that Drake is just getting warmed up. Stick around. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage. Remember, Locked On Patriots is not only a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, but we're also free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button and download and follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts to ensure that you're getting the latest episode as soon as it's available. I'm your host, Mike Debate. I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country. So reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind on X at MDABATENFL. And while you're out there showing some social media love to Locked On Patriots, follow our account there as well at LO_Patriots. And Pats fans, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. And Pats fans, as rookie minicamp wraps up in Foxborough as they march toward the next phase of off-season workouts, which includes mandatory minicamp in early June. But we know that rookie minicamp is first and foremost on all of your minds out there in Pats Nation, and we got the questions to prove it. That's right, the Locked On Patriots mailbag flooded, and we're definitely glad to bring back Mailbag Monday here on Locked On Patriots. And if it's Monday, that's right. The man who Mondays were created for here on Locked On Patriots, the only man that can help me sort through such a robust mailbag that Newman needed 2 trucks to deliver it. My good friend, the legend himself, Thomas Murphy. Thank you for coming to me in friendship on this Mailbag Monday minicamp edition, Don Murph.
Happy to be here, bud. Hope to help the ball club.
Absolutely. Got to support the team.
Got to support the team.
That's a second Seinfeld reference, and we're only about 3 minutes into the show, so that's great. You know what? We love it. And folks, those of you that are listening are probably Seinfeld fans. You've heard Murph and I drop countless numbers of Seinfeldian wisdom and counsel. We always appreciate that. But you know what, Murph? Once again, our listeners have knocked it out of the park. Rookie minicamp on the minds of everyone in Patriots Nation, and our listeners once again delivered with great, poignant questions surrounding the New England Patriots and what they learned from the rookies over the course of these last 3 days in Foxborough. I think we should probably kick it off.
Let's go. Let's dive in. And I was ready. Right, I was there. I was watching every snap. Let's go.
Absolutely. And our first question comes from borderline Midwest, my friend. Believe it or not, Youngstown, Ohio, and Gary in Youngstown, Ohio. Murph, I didn't even know we had Patriots fans in Youngstown, Ohio. A tip of the cap. You know what? Don't let anyone tell you, folks, that Patriots Nation does not have tentacles throughout the country. It's not just New England, folks. It's not just the New England states. Patriots Nation is all over the country, all over the world, and we're proving it right here on Locked On Patriots.
Bengals, no, Pats.
That's right. Bottom line, I really think that Gary's question kicks it off and kicks it into full gear here, Murph, because we all know that Drake Maye is known for his arm talent. We all know that he's capable of making plays happen with his legs, his athleticism. These are the things that Patriots fans can't wait to see. But rookie minicamp allows you to showcase some of your talents, but not all. You understand why Jerod Mayo may have said what he said over the weekend when it came to evaluating his new quarterback. Some people are saying this might be a little bit of a harsh criticism. Some people are saying it's just being honest, and that's what Gary wants to know. Do you find Jerod Mayo's assessment of Drake Maye's minicamp workouts to be harsh or honest? Well, in all fairness, Murph, we really should examine Jerod's words first before we actually go into any type of evaluation of what he said. And I'll quote this. He said, quote, Drake has a lot to work on. He has a lot to work on. Yes, folks, he said that twice. But I have no doubt that he'll put the time in. So I know you guys didn't see him out here yesterday, which meant on Friday. Jerod's making these comments on Saturday, but he was here all night and trying to get on the same page as everyone else. Murph, that doesn't exactly sound like a 100% ringing endorsement, but I'm not sure it's quite the indictment on Drake that some people want to purport. I leave it to you. If you're answering Gary's question, do you believe that this was honest or harsh criticism of Drake Maye by his new head coach?
It's honest criticism. Honest. All right. And it's also protective. Okay. You could be out there in Chicago like Caleb Williams and be announced the starter, before he's taken a snap there.
Mm.
Or you can play it the way that Jerod Mayo is playing it. And I think this is the smartest thing that he's done since he was named the head coach of the New England Patriots, way back in February, whenever it was. But no, it's a tad bit protective. You pump the brakes, people. We all knew coming in. I mean, I for one, and Mike for another, and many others warned you that there were glitches in the matrix with all three of these quarterbacks that were taken, 1, 2, and 3, and the best course of action was slow and steady wins the race. So let's just take it easy and no matter what we see over the next week and going into mandatory minicamp, whether Drake plays fantastically or not, I think this approach and Jerod knowing that no matter how good this kid looks or how bad he might look, there's things that need to be fixed and things that need to be worked on, and going from the program that he was in down there in Carolina up to an NFL level system is about as apples and tangerines. It's going to take time for this kid to be successful in this league. I think they've done a pretty good job in starting that. I also think that Jerod is looking around at this roster and seeing that it's not ready for prime time. And they don't want to put Drake into any situation where they aren't already. There are a lot of new moving pieces on this Patriots roster that all need to get on the same page that Drake is working hard to get on.
100% agreed. I don't think this was harsh criticism at all.
No.
I think it was honest. And I actually think that Drake would be the first to tell you that this wasn't harsh.
Yeah.
He said it himself. He's trying new things. He's working on the fundamentals that he believes he needs to master before he's the starting quarterback. And talking to Isaac Shade last week and getting a little bit of background on Drake's personality and his abilities, and not only his abilities on the field, but also what's in his head, what's on his mind, what's in his heart, his personality traits, saying that he'll be the first to tell you, I don't believe I'm where I need to be yet. Start Jacoby. I still need to learn. And look, what he's learning, folks, is not easy to learn. Don't let 3-second clips on social media about release times, passes to travel down the field farther. There is no question about it. This kid has an arm. You do not have to worry about the arm strength of Drake Maye. You want to see him hone in his skills and his accuracy in that department, but do not worry about the strength in this kid getting it down the field. I can tell you he will not have a problem doing that. The one thing that he does continuously need to work on, and Murph, honestly, Bill Belichick said this the night he was drafted on the Pat McAfee podcast. This kid needs work on his footwork. And Alex Van Pelt is already doing that. I was very encouraged by what I saw this weekend. Moments like this, like rookie minicamp, are not meant to anoint a new starter. They're not meant to give you an insight as to what this guy's going to look like on the field. What it does is it gives you an opportunity to see what they're doing wrong, more so than what they're doing right, and figure out what you need to correct in terms of being able to get them where they need to be. And Alex Van Pelt is doing it brilliantly. He's coaching now Drake Maye to lead the shotgun with his left foot because he wants to make sure that he maintains rhythm and protection. Two things that a rookie quarterback absolutely needs to be successful and to grow into the type of player he can be in this league. You saw him taking a lot of play action dropbacks. Getting regular work in that area is only going to help Drake in the long run. And look, he said this when we spoke to him after practice. Drake was very out front and saying, I'm trying new stances. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm trying to work on it. I'm repping it. Saying it over and over again really, I think, kind of hammered the point home to me that it means something to this kid. He knows that this is the way it needs to be in the pros.
He has to evolve, and he knows it. He knows it Right now, he
So
is an
well said.
amoeba that needs
Yep.
to evolve into an NFL quarterback.
Mhm.
He's it's something that when you hear somebody admit that they have shortcomings, admit that they have a problem, and they need to fix it and they need to work on it, you need to allow them the time to do it.
And that's exactly what he's doing, making sure that every minute he puts in on the field and in the study room is something that's going to help him evolve into the quarterback he believes he can be and the Patriots need him to be.
Hmm.
And whether or not that's in short order or long order is really immaterial at this point. If the Patriots feel they have the kid with the skill set and the fundamentals and the talent to be able to be their starting quarterback in the future, and I believe they do, Murph, I
Hmm.
think it's going to be a situation where you need to give him the time he needs to evolve. Gary, excellent question to
Yep.
get us kicked off today here on Mailbag Monday. Very appropriate. And of course, it leads us quite nicely into talking about the other rookies that were on the field. Drake already developing a nice budding relationship with his receivers, particularly Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. But he's going to have to form a relationship with those big round men up front that Murph absolutely loves to talk about. These two guys are forming an interesting pairing. Could it mean big things on the field for the New England Patriots this season? We're going to talk about that and so much more when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues, a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On listeners, passion, drive, and patience is what brings home that winning trophy. You know what? It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. Our good friends over at eBay Motors have everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers to roof racks to exhaust kits, LED headlights, and so much more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber and not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on this Mailbag Monday episode of Locked On Patriots, answering all of your great questions when it comes to recapping the Patriots rookie minicamp, which closed yesterday on Sunday, May 12th. And Murph, it's been 3 days of classroom learning, on-field
Yep.
fundamentals, really an orientation session
Yeah.
for the Patriots and really all rookies when it comes to rookie minicamp. League is very specific about what you can do, what you
Right.
can't do. And the Patriots are always going to toe the line in that
Right.
regard. And
We're
I think
always very toe the line people around here.
absolutely, despite of what the front offices will tell you over
Right.
on Park Avenue in New York, but I don't think anyone is going to argue that almost every eye in Patriots Nation this weekend was fixated on Drake Maye. Rightfully so. We all understand he's the shiny new toy.
Yep.
Everybody wants to see the quarterback, but there was a budding relationship between the two offensive linemen the Patriots selected in the NFL draft that could end up forming quite the formidable O-line tandem, and maybe even sooner rather than later. Yeah, folks, I'm talking about Caedan Wallace and Layden Robinson. Now, some people have been critical of these picks, thinking that maybe the Patriots reached for both. You can see Murph holding up his finger on the side. He resembles that remark, folks. But there is an undercurrent throughout the Patriots coaching staff, at the very least. I'm not going to put words in the mouths of any of the media members or
Nope.
the fan base right now that seem to believe that these guys could end up forming a left side, strong side offensive line. All right, I know that's a reach, folks. I love Remember the Titans just as much as you do.
Yeah.
Wanted to throw that line in. It doesn't really apply here, but it kind of does.
Yeah, kind of.
So, bottom line, Murph, another one of our everydayers wants to know the same thing. And our good friend, Any Fan for Life in Leominster,
Oh,
Mass, submits our next question. And Murph, It's regarding those big round men you'll have to talk
Yep.
about. So I'm going to give you the floor to answer this one first in just a moment. But for the benefit of those of you that are listening to this podcast, not viewing it on YouTube, the question reads, could the Pats pair of rookie O-linemen be starting on the left side by the end of the season? Murph, could we potentially see Caedan Wallace and Layden Robinson starting a game together before the end of the year?
I hope not. I really hope not.
Tell us how you really feel, Murph.
Yeah. If that's the case, then it goes to Doctor Strange, Cole Strange, being injured and not being able to play, and Corafor not working out on the left side. And these were our two key pieces in the cogs that are going to make this Patriots team something of akin to a playoff caliber team. If these two rookies are in here, they were both reaches, folks. Reaching for somebody who's never played left tackle and sticking them over there. I mean, I know it's rookie minicamp, okay, and that's why we saw them both over there. That's where the Wolf wants these kids to play, over there on the left-hand side. But God, I hope not. I hope these guys get a year of understudy work, and they aren't forced into a situation that believe me, you think Drake Maye isn't ready? These guys aren't ready. It's not. This is a completely different animal when you move from one side of this of an offensive line to the other. There's only one person smart enough to play in the middle. That's the center. And no, folks, I was not a tackle. I was a center. And it did somebody in the comments last week. Murph must have been a left tackle. No, I wasn't. It comes down to experience, not only at the NFL level, but at that position, and at that position on that side of the line. And I think the Patriots will be in big trouble if this ends up happening.
It's a valid point, no question about it. And look, you mentioned Eliot Wolf, whose promotion, folks, we will get to in just a moment here, because again, your questions absolutely nail the news of the
Yep.
day here on Locked On Patriots. But Eliot said just moments after Caedan Wallace was drafted that,
Yep.
He's a guy we felt was athletic enough to make the switch, good pass protector, took a huge step forward, 4-year starter, the whole 9 yards. No one is questioning, especially my good friend here on the opposite side of the screen, the prowess or the skill set of Caedan Wallace. This kid is a talented lineman, and he will be in the NFL. The issue is switching over and making that change from right to left.
Yep.
And that really is where the argument lies. Can these guys, and I include Layden Robinson on that as well, because don't
Yep.
forget, Layden played primarily right guard
Right
for the
guard.
Texas A&M Aggies. So it would involve a switch to the left side, and it would involve a switch to the left side for Caedan as well. Now, this is where they were taking the majority of their reps over
Right.
the weekend. But I think you make such a great point in saying that this is rookie minicamp. Folks, please remember, this entire roster has not been assembled yet on the field.
Right.
You don't know what the Patriots' plans are going to be just yet until you see who's getting those first team reps, even those second team reps. If it's Chuck Okorafor, if you're seeing Calvin Anderson out there, there are a lot of different combinations and permutations you could see. I still believe at the outset of the season, Murph, Patriots are going to go veteran here. I don't think they can afford to put a rookie out there to protect, even if it's not Drake Maye, even Jacoby Brissett. You want to make sure that those guys are being well protected, and you need solid tackles on both sides to seal the edges. I think it has to be a veteran right off the bat.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I hope this experiment works in the long run. I just don't see it. Once again, we're talking about guys using a different side of their brain. You think it's hard to teach a quarterback new footwork? Try teaching an offensive lineman new footwork, okay? Because your brain is telling you to drop here and pull there, and it's mind numbing when everything that's happening around you is happening around you, and you having to think like a lefty now. Okay. Just go. I beg you all, go and try to eat dinner tonight with your left hand. Okay. Just do that. Go try to eat
Good
dinner with
point.
your left hand and see how difficult that is. Cutting that steak and eating with pulling a fork with your opposite hand. It's difficult. Now magnify that, times that by 3,000. Okay, these are traits that these guys and tendencies that these guys have worked with probably their entire lives. The last time these guys played on the left-hand side, they were probably playing Pop Warner.
Mm,
All right. And somewhere along the way in high school, nope, you're over there on the right. And they stayed there. And that's the way you think. You have to completely rewire your brain.
mm,
And to ask these kids to do that early in the season is suicide
mm.
for the quarterback and for their careers. And so hopefully they will get an entire season as the understudies, get in there, play a few downs, get the hell out before they get killed or get their quarterback killed.
In the interest of playing devil's advocate, which I will do for a second, Caedan Wallace did address the lack of left side line items on his resume over the weekend and did say that he did play a lot of left in college practices last year for Penn State. I'm not saying it's practical and I'm not
No,
saying it's the same thing as game reps, but he
right.
did get reps there and said he played left throughout high school. And that really the
Okay.
switch was made when he came into to Penn State. So there
Well,
might
we
be a
know
little bit
why.
more exactly, and
You know,
absolutely, and Fashanu is
we're
a
being all rookie if it wasn't for, somebody.
absolutely. And look, you look at the same thing with Blake Fisher in Notre Dame, and he had to
Right,
make the switch over because Joe
right,
Alt he
right.
was light years better,
Light
but
years.
Fisher was also somebody that Scott Peters worked with a lot during the pro day.
Yep.
And from what we've heard, he held Caedan Wallace nearly in the same high regard.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe there is something to bite onto there. I'm willing to give this kid the benefit of the doubt, but I agree with you. If it's starting this season and the majority of this season, I think it has to be a veteran left tackle
Yep.
out there. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for difficulty at the quarterback
That's it.
position. And I don't think you're protecting Caedan or even Layden Robinson as well as you should. If you have high hopes for these kids, you want to nurture them and bring them along. Give Chuck Sikorafor an opportunity. Maybe throw Calvin Anderson out there if Chuck's is
Yep.
not working, and give Cole Strange the chance to block and to really play his game
It
in
just
this offense. This
he
is what he
just
was
needs
brought
to
here
be
to do.
healthy. And
Mm,
exactly what Michael has said. That's what Dr. Strange did in college. He ran this system. That's why he was brought in here, because Bill wanted to morph this system into something different. That just did not happen. It did not take place. And all he needs to do is stay healthy, and you've got a fantastic left guard. You really do.
absolutely.
I don't want to put him in all pro in an all pro category because there's so many great guys on the left hand side over there, but he is an above average left guard when he is healthy. And I for one have somebody that never holds a ball player's success and health in within the same ball.
Absolutely. 100% agreed. And bottom line, folks, that's exactly what the New England Patriots are going to need from Cole Strange, from the veterans on this roster, to make sure that the rookies are rounding into form. So before we start thinking about this guy's playing here, that guy's playing there, let's see what these alignments look like in minicamp first. And I don't think you can really make an educated guess until you start seeing what's
Right.
happening in training camp, which is in late July. So still a ways away, but bottom line, excellent question. Any fan for life is always one of our great everydayers.
Right.
We give a tip of the cap and thank you for the great question. And Murph, we're still not done yet. A lot of people are wondering, now that Eliot Wolf is in the executive vice president of player personnel chair, and now that Jerod Mayo has hit the practice fields for the first time as a head coach, is it finally time, Murph, to get excited for the season? Murph and I are going to talk about that level of excitement for this season and so much more when we wrap up this Mailbag Monday episode, minicamp edition of the Locked On Patriots podcast. Listen up, Boston sports fans. It's winner take all time in the NBA and the NHL, and FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Wednesday night at the Garden, your favorite green team NBA playoff action, and they're favored at home. The question is, do you have enough confidence in your fandom to make it work for you? Well, if you're going to do so, do it with FanDuel, because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and so much more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Patriots fans, thank you once again for joining us here today on the Locked On Patriots podcast. We are your team every day, and today we are answering all of your questions. All of our great everydayers here on Locked On Patriots. It's Mailbag Monday, Rookie Minicamp edition, and folks, if it's the mailbag, it means it's hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. We keep saying that Mondays were created for this man here on Locked On Patriots, and they were. There's no one better to sift through the rather heavy mailbags that we received this week, Murph. Absolutely. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any debate about it, including this one on the opposite side of the screen that's talking right now. Bottom line, Bud, Eliot Wolf has a brand new title, Executive Vice President of Player Personnel. His job duties, Murph, include overall direction of the personnel department, the management of the salary cap, even though we all know Miguel should be doing that job, and be the primary force in control of the 53-man roster. So, Murph, it's exciting that the Patriots now have a top executive that's going to be overseeing all of the football operations for this club. But another exciting thing that happened over the weekend as well is Jerod Mayo finally getting the chance to hit the field as a head coach, conducting his own camp for the first time as a head coach. It's a milestone moment, knowing that this is his team now has got to be both humbling and it's probably daunting as well, because you're doing so for an organization with 6 championships that wants to return to that type of success sooner rather than later, but also you're doing it in the shadow of a legendary coach like Bill Belichick. So the question on everybody's mind is, now that the Patriots infrastructure is firmly put in place, you have a coach, you have a GM, now is it finally time to put the focus where it belongs on the players on the field? Is it time to get excited about this Patriots team? Well, another one of our most valued everydayers, our good friend Pamela in Cranston, Rhode Island. You know I've got to throw Rhode Islanders in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm unabashedly biased to my home state, but this is a great question. With Eliot Wolf hired and Jerod Mayo hitting the practice field, can we finally start to get excited for the season? Don Murph, I leave it to you. Is this the opportunity we've all been looking for to move forward and put the focus back on the players?
Yeah, it has to. Go ahead. Everybody is 0-0 right now. 90% of Patriots Nation is thrilled over this draft, and then there's me. And no, it's just, I can just picture Wolf and Mayo sitting in Wolf's office, Wolf lighting a cigar, saying, "I love it when a plan comes together." And I've only is my thing is, be careful what you wish for, because now it is all on the two of you. Okay, it was your off season, it was your free agents that you brought in, it was your draft that you ran. You decided on these players, you decided to move down, not move up, and grab guys that I thought would have helped this team a lot more. And I'm rooting for you two. I am. So let's get happy, because I hope this all works out, and that for the first time in over a decade, somebody at One Patriots Place had a better draft than I did.
Surely something like that could never happen, folks. We all know that.
But it was a foregone conclusion. We all knew that Wolf was going to be hired in some capacity to run this show. I mean, I was never asked for a second interview, and a lot of other people turned down the first one because, as we said a week ago, everybody knew that this is what was going to happen. Okay, they sidestepped here and moved a couple of pieces over there, came up with a nice little title for Eliot, and now it's his show. So yeah, let's get happy. Let's get behind. Let's become the Wolf Pack and hope that this man actually knows a tad bit more than people gave him credit for, and these moves that he decided to make in his first offseason running the show, and he did run the show. He said all along, I'm the one making the decisions. So let's see it.
Wolfpack, I like that. Very
Yeah.
hangover of you, Murph. I like it. I mean, Eliot is in this chair now, and it's a chair that I think everybody believed he was going to get, like you said. I don't want to say this was anticlimactic because it is a big moment for him, and congratulations and a well-deserved promotion to Eliot Wolf on this as well. But I thought the takeaway of this weekend really, to me, laid more with Jerod Mayo
Yeah.
and the aha moment that he described. And folks, just to be clear, when Jerod spoke to the media on Saturday, he was very candid about a lot of different subjects. But one of the things that I think really illuminated him and I think really kind of showed not only the excitement that he has for this job, but also the realization of the weight that's now on his shoulders is what he described as his aha moment this weekend. And that's getting out there on the field. And I'm quoting Jerod verbatim here. He says, "Yeah, it feels great to get on the field. The first day I was out there with the guys, that was like the aha moment. Everyone was asking me, how does it feel? It felt regular for me to be inside." Get back to that in just a second. But as soon as I came out here and was able to talk different positions, that was like the aha moment. When you're operating as a coach from indoors, from the coach's room, a lot of those skills can blend together, whether you're a head coach or whether you're a positional coach, because you're standing up there, you're addressing a large body of, players and rookies or whoever you happen to be, speaking with. That's part of that contingent that's there for either mini camps or practices or workouts or whatever. But when you get out there on the field and you start to see these individual units practicing and you're making the rounds, and all of a sudden you have to spend time with the special teamers.
Yep.
You have to spend time with the offense.
Yep.
That's exciting for a head coach, but I also think that's a moment of realization. That weight now is all on you. Bill Belichick is not walking out there in the field twirling the whistle any longer and kind of taking that pressure off. So in a lot of ways, I think Jerod was very excited by what he saw, but at the same time, I also think he came to that moment where saying, okay, this is my team. Eliot Wolf put this all together. These are the guys we're going forward with. Now it's up to me to craft this team into a team that can win greater than 4 games last year, because whether you like it or whether you don't, folks, that's going to be the standard to which Jerod Mayo is held this year. People are going to expect them to be a little better than they were last year. I don't think anyone is expecting this team to be a serious playoff contender.
No.
Definitely not among the tops in the division. This team has a lot of building to do. But I think a realistic expectation for this club is to be a little better than they were last year. And if he's not, he's going to start to hear the chirps. And I think he realizes that.
Yep.
And I think he got that in that aha moment from the first moment that he stepped on the field.
I agree. It is a different animal. It's always easier to coach from the stands or from the one side of the ball or the other, and critique what a head coach is doing, and thinking that you can. It's a different game when you're under that hat, when you're wearing the cutoff sleeves. It's a different animal. And hate to keep going back to that thing, but it really is. I have many times over the course of my coaching career handed things over to an assistant to coach younger ball players, and they just did not know what was entailed, and all of the things that you have to balance on the field, off the field, in the locker room. And I've said it before, it's always easy to be everybody's friend when you're the assistant coach.
Right.
Everybody's every player's best friend, every parent's best friend. He's the guy that should be doing it. And then when you get out there and you're wearing the head coach hat, when you're wearing the big M on the front, or Pat the Patriot on the side, it's it's a very different life. And I hope Jerod Mayo is ready for it. I think that was part of his aha moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And bottom line, folks, I mean, that aha moment is daunting, but it is very exciting. And that's where you see the competitor in Jerod Mayo come out. And I think that's the type of side you're going to see on the field this year. Jerod is very prideful, and he wants to make sure that the product that's going out there is not only competent, but he also wants to make sure that that product is
Right.
fun to watch, and he wants to make sure that it's fundamentally sound. The only way to do that is to motivate your players, and he has
Right.
a unique ability to do that, even as a player. Now, as a head coach, he's really got to put it into fruition, and I think you're going to see that. And bottom line, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this team in mandatory minicamp. It's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch this team in training camp in late
Yep.
July, but you got to get there first. So everyone take one day, one step at a time. And I think this could be an interesting and maybe even a fun season for New England Patriots fans to watch. I'm excited. Murph's excited. Tell us what you think about the Patriots prospects this year after seeing the rookies hit the field. Are you encouraged? Are you
That's it.
concerned? Let us know what's on your mind, because we want to know what you're thinking. And if you have any follow-up questions or deeper questions, drop them in the comments
There you
section, or
go.
send us an email, or tag us on Twitter, because we're going to be doing this again next Monday for Mailbag Monday. And once again, I want to definitely thank Gary in Youngstown, Ohio, Any Fan for Life in Leominster, Mass, and Pamela in Cranston, Rhode Island for the great questions featured on this show this week. Murph, what can I say? You always help me bring in the mailbag, but you do so much more, my friend. You absolutely knock it out of the park with your wisdom and counsel and your candor each and every week. It's why Mondays were created for Murph here, and why he has his very own branded hashtag. Before I let you go, my friend, please let everyone know where they can reach out to you, interact with you, and what you got cooking in Murph's kitchen for the remainder of the week.
Oh, you can just catch me over there on Zitter at tmurph207, and stay up to date with everything I've got going on over at diehardbostonsportsfans.com. Other than that, I'm wide open this week. I got a lot of ball games this week. I got 4 ball games this week that I got to coach. So everything else is kind of taking a backseat, except of course for you guys, and right here on Locked On Patriots. I'm always here when Mike needs me.
Absolutely, folks. And Locked On Patriots is a much better podcast for it. And we always appreciate when Murph stops by and shares the microphone with me. Appointment listening, appointment viewing, you always want to make sure that you're staying locked in. And definitely keep your sharp eye on all the great work that Murph does, his written work for diehardbostonsportsfans.com. And anytime he puts voice to microphone, pen to paper, it's always fun and always informative. You can't ask for more, my friend. And folks, we encourage you to stay locked into Locked On Patriots all week long. More expert analysis from the Patriots rookie class. And we're going to be talking to some exciting special guests, so you do not want to miss a single second of the action. Download, subscribe, follow wherever you get your podcasts, and smash that subscribe button on YouTube to make sure you're getting the latest episode as soon as it's made available. On behalf of my good friend, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, the Don here on Locked On Patriots, Thomas Murphy, I'm Mike Debate, reminding all of you to stay safe and to stay well, and to be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow on Locked On Patriots.